104.5 The Team, your home for UAlbany athletics and big board sports. Chris Onorato with us right now for Section Tuesday. Locally speaking, how do I phrase this delicately?
How else would you speak?
Well, I'm just
on
saying,
Section Tuesday, if not locally.
I'm trying to be delicate.
Oh.
I'm trying to find a way to.
That's not your style.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
What the hell is wrong with the Great Danes?
You know what, man? If I had an answer for that, I don't know. And Roger and I, of course, kicked this around this morning. But listen, I'm not going to buy that they were tired. I'm not going to buy it. They played a noon game at Maine. The trip is hell. I get it. But it was a noon game, and they really only needed to play the first half.
And they're better than Binghamton.
It was 48-10 at the half.
Right.
So you can rest guys. Guys got plenty of minutes off the bench, all that in Bangor. You make the trip back, and I get it. You only have you get back late Saturday night, right? You're then in Albany for X amount of hours. You do a practice, a walkthrough, whatever it may be. You're back on a bus. You go to Binghamton late afternoon Sunday. I get it. It's not ideal. And maybe Will Brown, if the money was right, he would say we're going straight from Maine to Binghamton. I'm not messing around with the pit stop in Albany. I have no idea. But I can't subscribe to the fact that the guys were just tired. Didn't play a lot of guys off the bench last night at Binghamton, which is a little curious if the guys were showing signs of fatigue. To me, that says Will Brown didn't think his guys were tired. So the starters can play 30-plus minutes, no problem. They're struggling to shoot the ball. And as stupid as that sounds, like, well, of course they are, Chris. They're not scoring enough points to beat their opponent. I get it. But basketball is a simple sport in a lot of ways. Put the ball in the basket. And when you're not shooting well from the outside, like if I ask you guys, who is UAlbany's best shooter? Who is the biggest threat against a zone to knock down some threes? Like, guys, you're a Syracuse fan. What beats the Cuse zone? A good three-point shooter in a lot of ways.
And last year, you could have said it was Dallas Enema, although it would be a good debate within the team. But I think you brought this point, and I thought the same thing. There's a good shooter on the bench for UAlbany who's just not playing right now.
Yeah, Costa Anderson has not gotten a lot of minutes. I have no real inside information. All that does tell me, though, is he isn't practicing well. Will Brown puts a lot of stock into the guys who practice well are going to be the guys he trusts on game day. And so my only guess is that Costa isn't practicing well, isn't making shots in practice. But, man, I'm telling you, maybe you just have to put him out there, and maybe there's a switch that flips with game time atmosphere and situations where Costa starts knocking down threes, because I think he is the best outside shooter. I think Will Brown would tell you that even. Cremo is the most consistent guy right now.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Cremo and Nichols, I mean, they're pretty much...
Nichols is struggling, man.
Well, and they're, normally, what's the answer to the offense for UAlbany? Cremo and Nichols.
Yes, right.
And neither one really, it just doesn't make sense.
Charles gives you a lot. His nickname used to be the Zone Buster. Now it's the Walking Bucket. He had 17 points last night for UAlbany, and he creates problems for a zone. But if you can't make outside shots, that zone will have no problem collapsing on Travis Charles every time he touches it at the free throw line. So you've got to be able to keep the zone honest with some deep shots. Cremo made 2 threes late, but for the most part, that was like all you saw him put up in the second half. And I love David Nichols. I really do. I think he's a great kid. I enjoy being around him as we cover the team, and we do UAlbany basketball weekly. We had him mic'd up last week. He's fun. And he's a really good player. He just is really struggling to make shots. He was 2 of 10 at Maine. He was, I think, 3 of 15 last night at Binghamton. He struggled at UNH, and UAlbany's lost. There's a theme here. If Nichols struggles this year, UAlbany's having a hard time winning games.
We brought this up earlier in the show, and it still makes me nervous that Coach Brown's noted this. I think us three in the room have noticed this. Nobody's going to stop running the zone all season.
Right.
Look, if Albany can't make shots, all of a sudden the next team they're going to play as well now we'll play man-to-man. No. You have to find the shooter, which is really difficult that all of a sudden, hey, we're in mid-January. Now you're a good three-point shooting team. That's an issue. That's going to be an issue, and I think everybody knows that. I don't know if there even is a fix here besides maybe playing more guys off the bench.
Yeah, and that may be it, guys. I don't want to ignore what may just kind of be the elephant in the room here. I think this team is overlooking opponents. I mean, just point blank, I think they know how good they are and can be, and Will Brown knows it too. Look, he didn't panic at the 0-2 start. We didn't become a bad basketball team in the span of 4 days. We all know that. I think the players, though, know that too. That, like, we're more talented than most of the teams and players in this league. We can go out there and play at 80%, if you will, and still win games. They're learning the hard way that you can't necessarily always get away with that. I'm not going to say I'm worried about this team. Right. I just can't seem to diagnose the problem right now.
Chris Onorato with us right now. It's Section Tuesday talking about UAlbany basketball. I think it was, I believe it was you and Roger having the conversation of sometimes after a bad first half, Coach Will Brown will go. He won't go into the locker room.
Yeah, right.
He'll wait. He'll listen. For. There hasn't been that fiery leadership. Is that something that's lacking? Because Joe Cremo's a lunch bucket kind of guy. I pack my lunch, I go to work, and I expect everybody to do it too. Does somebody need to start yelling?
No doubt. That was you're right, Levack. That was after the Hartford loss. UAlbany was down at the half. I forget by how many, but Will Brown was like halfway to the locker room before the buzzer even sounded for the end of the first half. And he said after that game, he'll gather with his assistants outside the locker room. They'll talk about what they want to do in the second half and then go in and talk to the team. And he says all the while he's usually listening, depending upon how that first half went, what's going on in the locker room with my guys. And in the past, he has heard people throwing things, people shouting, people yelling, people trying to get their teammates fired up. He heard none of that. And so he took a very laissez-faire approach as well. This happens with 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and Will's been down this road before where he's kind of searched for that voice of the team. I would expect it to be Cremo, too, because he's as intense and competitive as a guy as you'll ever meet. But I don't know that he's that vocal guy. So, okay, who's the most vocal? It's Travis Charles. Can he be a guy, he's a senior, can he be a guy who kind of rallies the troops when they need it most? I would look to him to do that. But, yeah, somebody has to take this team by the you-know-whats and start driving them forward.
I'm going to transition away from UAlbany to a really cool local story going on involving the 2018 Winter Olympics and a local athlete that's going to be a part of the event.
Cody Baskew from Whitehall. We featured him as one of our athletes of the week on News Channel 13 in 2010, I believe it was. And we met up with him in Lake Placid. He was doing the bobsled runs up there, and that's where he's been training. And he is going to be on the 2-man and the 4-man bobsled for Team USA. Incredible stuff. I mean, from Whitehall, right, from Washington County here in the capital region to South Korea, representing the red, white, and blue. I don't know that it gets any cooler than that.
Isn't the bobsled how you get to work in Whitehall? Isn't that how you...
Probably. So he's got good experience, right? It's like, what was your first car as a teenager when you got your driver's license? Bobsled.
Bobsled. Yeah. No, it's 2-man. We couldn't afford the 4. Right. I was saving up.
The compact.
But it's just another great local. I mean, all joking aside, the Major League Baseball, the NFL, we got some guys going through and all that.
Herder played well last night for Maryland.
Herder played, yeah. I mean, and it's pretty amazing the athletes that are coming out of upstate New York.
And Michaela Schifrin, dominates downhill skiing, slalom, giant slalom. She's even had success the Super G during this World Cup circuit, and she has family members in Albany and Berkshire County. So there are many ties to, like you said, Levack, athletes doing great things on the national and now world stage. Pretty cool.
So when you pack your bags for South Korea?
For Korea, well, I'm not sure. I think I'd like to go when it's a little bit warmer, though. That may be my vote. Yeah, go to the summer games when they're back there sometime. But yeah, I mean, we're going to catch up with Cody at some point for sure, TV and radio side. He was just announced yesterday that he'd be on Team USA, so I'm sure he's got to still be on Cloud 9.
That's awesome. It's a great time to be a sports fan here in upstate New York. Hopefully, UAlbany rights the ship.
They will. Look, yeah. I mean, it's still going to be Vermont, UAlbany, and I know everybody's tired of hearing that, and you want to poke holes in that by pointing at UAlbany's 2 and 3 rack. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think we're still going to get Vermont and UAlbany. The problem for UAlbany is that game's probably going to be played in Burlington.
Yeah, especially if they keep this up.
Yeah.
We've got Jimmy Patos coming up in just a little bit. What have you seen in Siena since Nico Clarith leaving the team?
A little more team ball.
Yeah.
Which isn't surprising. Like anybody could come in here and say that the ball would move a little bit more freely on offense. I think you're going to find that guys are really playing for one another now. Man, you lose by 2 at Iona. That's got to kill you. Yeah. And then you have 25 turnovers at Manhattan. a game they could have won in the stretch as well. They had a lead late in both games. Is it the mark of a team that's young and doesn't know how to close games? Yeah, I think so.
Right.
But if you want to take the other side of the coin, you're going to say that's the mark of a coach that can't get a team to the finish line. I like Jimmy.
Yep.
I think he has the job beyond this year.
Yep.
I know everybody is kind of saying we need to go another direction. I think Jimmy Patz is the head coach of Siena in 2019. So if you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But I think he has players with Nico gone now, and you can't put everything on Nico's shoulders. But I think he has players now that are going to take a little more of a team approach. Here's the thing, right? When you have a good player on the floor and they're a little more ball dominant, they need 20 shots a game or so. Right. You feel compelled to get that player the ball probably in spots you shouldn't or more often than you should. You're not going to see that now with Siena. And who scares you in the MAC? You lost by 2 at Iona.
Right.
So who scares you? Nobody, really. So I think we'll leave the record away aside from now. Let me see what they do Thursday night. Is that fair? Home against Marist, they should have beaten them in Poughkeepsie. You better beat them at home. I'll just say that. And that's not pressure on anybody. Everybody knows that. You better beat Marist at home. And let's see.
Because you got to be, a top 5 seed in the tournament.
You want to avoid having to win, 4 games to get the title. Yeah.
And then anything can happen.
Yep.
Chris Onorato, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining us.